Have you ever felt like no matter what you do, you just keep hitting the same walls your family did? Like you're trapped in cycles of struggle that just don't make sense? And what if I told you that you might be the chosen one to break this cycle for your bloodline? This is your sign that it stops with you. So today, grab yourself a cup of coffee and let's talk about how to break these generational curses. Because by the end of this video, you're going to have a clear step-by-step guide to breaking cycles and stepping into the life you were meant to live. Namaste, everyone, and welcome to the awakening of the I Am. So what is a generational curse? It's a repeating negative cycle that's passed down through families, and it shows up as financial struggles, toxic relationships, addiction and substance abuse, emotional suppression that nobody in the family ever talks about with feelings, and illnesses that just seem to run in the family. You can also have fear-based mindsets, scarcity, unworthiness, and even self-sabotage. So why do these cycles exist? Well, for starters, programming from birth. Families unconsciously teach these patterns that they've inherited. Secondly, trauma gets passed down. Generations before us experienced hardship, poverty, oppression, war, survival, and unknowingly transferred these fears and beliefs. And lastly, cultural and societal conditioning. Some of these cycles are deeply ingrained in the communities and in their belief systems. So how do you know if you're a generational curse breaker? Here's 5 signs that you might be the chosen one to break the cycle. Number 1, you feel different from your family. You question traditions and beliefs that others blindly follow. You sense a deeper purpose beyond what your family has taught you. Number 2, you're drawn to healing and self-growth. You crave knowledge about breaking toxic cycles. You're actively working on self-improvement. Number 3, you see patterns clearly. You recognize unhealthy behaviors in your family and you refuse to repeat them. Number 4, you struggle the most in your family. Cycle breakers often face the hardest battles because they are meant to end the suffering. So while others are in your family may be accepting these struggles, you feel the intense push to change things. And number 5, you're willing to do the inner work. Even when it's hard, you choose healing over staying stuck. So an affirmation for cycle breakers: I was chosen to break these cycles. The work that I do heals generations before me and after me. So how do you identify which curses you're breaking? Ask yourself these questions. What struggles have been repeated in my family for generations? Look at the finances, the relationships, emotional health, and self-worth. What toxic beliefs was I raised with? For example, money doesn't grow on trees. This creates a scarcity mindset. What unhealthy behaviors do I need to see in my family that I refuse to continue? For example, emotional suppression, toxic relationships, and even self-sabotage. And lastly, what patterns do I notice in my own life that I know need to change? If you always feel stuck in one area, maybe love, money, self-worth, there's a generational cycle at play. Okay, so step-by-step guide to breaking generational curses. Now, the first, you have to acknowledge the pattern. You can't break what you don't see. So write down some of these repeating cycles that you've noticed in your family. And number 2, you have to reprogram your subconscious mind. Generational curses live in the subconscious. Replace old programming with positive affirmations, visualization, and intentional self-worth. So maybe a new belief example: I am worthy of abundance, love, and peace. And I release the struggles of my ancestors and step into my highest self. And number 3, do the emotional healing work. Guys, you gotta forgive. Let go of the resentment towards your family. They were also conditioned. You gotta remember that. They did the best that they could with the information that they had at the time. Number 2, inner child healing. You have to speak to your inner self, your inner child, with love and reassurance. And you gotta find maybe therapy or spiritual practices. Find tools and things that resonate with you. Yoga, meditation, breath work, self-reflection, the shadow work journal, Number 4, change your daily actions. You can't just think differently. You have to act differently. You have to be the leader and lead by example. Break small habits that are tied to the cycle. If money was scarce and this was a pattern, you have to start learning then financial literacy and make choices that align with your new reality. Number 5, set boundaries and protect your energy. Breaking cycles means that you have to be separate from toxic patterns and toxic family dynamics. It's okay to love family from a distance if they refuse to change. And you don't have to accept this toxic behavior just because they're your family. You know what I mean? So guys, lead by example. You inspire others by living the change. Some family members may resist this at first, but believe me when I tell you that your transformation will plant the seed for future generations. In closing, if this is resonating with you, then chances are you are becoming the chain breaker of your family. You were born for this, guys. You are the first in your lineage to wake up. You see the truth and you are choosing a new path, and that all by itself is powerful. Every step that you take towards healing is healing generations before and after you. And you don't have to be perfect, you just need to be willing. And guys, maybe remember that you can't change the past. So the generations before you, it's already said and done. Your job is to break the cycle for the future generation, the younger ones that are coming after you, your children, their children, etc. Okay, everyone, now it's your job to do the work. Leave a comment. Make sure that you are sharing this video in case you want to check this out later. Make sure you're sharing it with someone that really needs to hear it. And leave me a comment. Let me know if you are the generational curse breaker in your family. Guys, pick up the shadow work journal. Do the inner work. Make sure that you are giving your own inner child the love that it deserves, the love that it needs. And remember that if you chose this, you are powerful. You knew you can handle it, which is why you came here to break the cycle. I love you guys. Thank you for joining me today. Welcome to the awakening of the I Am. Namaste. Jeanette out.